Hey everybody, Katherine Reay here, welcoming you to the 10-Minute Book Talk, where three best-selling authors chat with you about all things books for 10 short, sweet minutes. We have a really special treat for you today with Rachel Linden and Marie Bostwick, and we are revealing Marie's cover, the cover of
Ah,
the Book Club for Troublesome Women. It is gorgeous. We are so excited about this book. And Marie, tell us a little bit about the book before we dig into the cover.
oh my gosh. Thank you. First of all, yes, I am super excited about this book. You guys have been hearing me talk about this for like years, I think.
It's going to be
So
amazing. It is amazing.
it's really, I told you, I felt like it was the book of my heart and the book of my life, and I feel that way. I think a good way to get into it is like how this happened was I was actually working on something else, and I had dinner with my mom, who is now 91, and this was a few years back, probably 3 years ago. And somehow the book The Feminine Mystique by Betty Friedan came up, which was, a pivotal book in the early 1960s. And she said, I don't know if I ever told you, but that book changed my life. And I said, no, really, tell me more. And she started talking, and within moments, I knew that was the book I needed to write next. So it is not my mother's life, but it is inspired by that revelation from her, which was true of so many women. So this is about four dissatisfied housewives who live in Northern Virginia in a planned community, a very planned community, not too far from Washington, D.C. They form a book club, and the first book of many that they read is The Feminine Mystique, and it changes everything. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Are you proud of me? I'm usually so not good at
Yeah,
summing the book
I
up.
was just about to say that
well
is like an
done.
elevator pitch, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should just text her that later. But
No,
such a
like
good
We're
you
elevator
all
going
pitch.
to
know that I'm
compliment you
usually
right
so bad
now.
at that,
Yeah, well
right?
done. Makes me want to read the book, except I'm halfway
Yeah.
through it and I'm loving it. It is so good. It is just delicious. The prose, the story, the characters, it's just a delight. I'm so enjoying this one.
Thank you.
Yay.
Okay,
So,
Right.
so
but everybody else doesn't get to read it till April
I
22nd.
know.
So
April
it's just
22nd.
about the cover mostly today.
The cover.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're revealing the cover. Ta-da! Revealed. So tell us about this cover, because this is unlike any of your other covers. You always have great covers, but this one is just special and fun and really retro because it's going back into that,
Yes.
the
Right. And
60s, 50s vibe. So
yeah,
tell us
yeah.
about the cover.
So I think people are curious, like how do covers come about? I think they think we have more to do with it than we do. I have, various talents. Art, being a graphic artist is not one of them. But we do early in the process, our publishers like will send us a really long and detailed questionnaire about, kind of what's the vibe we want that book to have, what would we maybe want to see in the cover, what would we definitely not want to see in the cover. For me, that's usually like teacups, hats, anything with a single flower on it. It's just not what I'm going for. For me, at this point, I really trust that graphic artists know what they're doing. So, and then, oh, and one other thing is sometimes you'll say, well, what are other covers that are out there that you kind of like, that you think might be comparable to this book, or maybe you just like the way it looks. It doesn't have anything necessarily to do with the book. So, I usually send 6 or 8 covers that are out right now, books that I think like have that kind of vibe, or just I find visually appealing. And
Mhm.
and then I just said, you know what? I just wanted to say a couple of things. I wanted to say 1960s
Mm-hmm.
women book club. And they initially came in, and you guys went
Yeah.
through me, and
Yeah.
honestly, they kind of like
They got it.
it was pretty
Yeah.
close to this
Yeah.
early on.
Mm-hmm. From the
And I
get-go.
really thought they did well, but there was a couple of things that didn't work for me. And I think you guys weighed in because the first thing you do as an offer when your cover comes in, you send it to your friends.
You send it to
And
all your friends and do you like it? Do you like it? What do you think?
yeah, yeah, it's a very exciting but anxious day, right? And you hope that they will tell you the truth.
Mhm.
So it's key because covers really are important. So as Rachel is holding it up, we see there was this bag up here, and this was great, but the original thing they had, it was like a carpet bag.
That
There
was
was so
floral.
much pattern with the very heavily patterned couch. And I was like, no, this looks like my migraines feel. No. So we toned the bag down quite a bit. And then the other thing, it was so hilarious. I was like, guys, where's the book? It was just the woman sitting on the couch with the bag. I was like, where's the book? And they were like, oh, I said, so we put the book in her lap, and it's subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
And we went through several color iterations before we found the color that we wanted for the book. It was pretty funny how much time was spent on that. And then the other thing was, I was like, she needs to be smoking. So another very, because in the 60s,
Everybody was.
everybody was, right? Do you remember, Katherine? Well, you're younger than me, but like when I was a kid, like it was a perfectly acceptable classroom project to make ashtrays.
Oh, yes.
Like,
And do you remember flying on airplanes back then?
oh yeah. Remember the smoking section in restaurant? That always cracked
Yes.
me up.
Yeah.
As though the
Where there's like a
smoke
little
wasn't going to
plexiglass
drift
divider
across. Yeah.
for the smoke to roll over into the non-smoking
No,
section.
it was so crazy. So everybody smoked. So that was there. And we played a lot with trying to we never really did quite, I really wanted a little more smoke curling up, but it was hard to do that. And then she was always in this orange outfit. We changed the color on the rug quite a bit. It was actually really a deeper a burgundy, as I recall. And we changed the carpet, but
Like that.
generally, I felt like they just knocked it out of the park from the get-go, which authors is why, give the artist some credit, know what you're good at and know what they're good at. And it doesn't mean you can't have input, but don't.
Yeah, I think in this case also, I think the color palette is so spot on.
Yes. Yes. Although I actually think it's maybe a slightly more 70s reading
Fair
that
enough.
way.
True.
But
grew
The
up with,
early
like,
60s
avocado
were
and
really
marigold.
late 50s, sleeping into the next decade. So fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah, I think you could.
But
And by the way, as Rachel knows, I am an autumn for my colors. So this is going to look great with all my outfits.
there you go.
When
But you know what I was going to say? You could be right about that. But from a modern perspective, looking back,
yes.
that is the time period. But you're right about that nuance.
Very evocative. You look at this and you
really
think
is.
retro. I look at it, I think 60s to the late 50s, like no question.
Yeah.
Very
And the
vintage.
title, the title went round and round and round. The title was months.
Title went round and round.
I love the title.
And
was
you
so
know what?
traumatic.
That's another
It was
thing.
so
That's
fraught.
another thing. It's very much like the cover. To get a title, the title matters. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I've written 12 books. I've titled one. It's not my forte.
Right.
And so, titling is that sort of publisher, creative process, et cetera. And it's also another thing you text all your friends about and ask if they like.
It's
So-
true. Generally, just being an author is fraught all the time. We're emotional wrecks.
Like you would text
9
me
days
the
out
title,
of 10.
Marie. You were
We
like,
are
hey, what do you think about
stable.
this? And my instant feeling was, yes, I want to be a troublesome woman. I am a troublesome woman. But I just thought, oh my gosh, I want a tote bag. I want a t-shirt. I want earrings. Like troublesome women unite. So
we see swag in your launch party.
I feel
I immediately identified with this title.
Yeah.
Okay, so now wait, real quick, before we wrap up, a few things we need to do. We need to know, when is this lovely book publishing?
Right. It is coming out on April 22nd, which I know feels like forever away, readers, but it's really
here before we know
like
it.
it's gonna fly. It is gonna fly, and it's gonna be here before you know it. And it would mean so much to me, as it does to all authors, if you would consider pre-ordering this book, either from your local bookstore, your favorite online retailer, blah, blah, blah. Or you could do it from your online realtor, but I don't think there'll be much help.
They may not help you.
So do that. The other thing too is I know that some of my readers really like to have a signed book, and I will be going on an extensive book tour with this, as I always do, but there's no way I can get everywhere. So if you wanted, I'm going to hold this up. My local independent bookstore, Invitation Bookshop in Gig Harbor, Washington, is doing a a launch party, and it's actually I've gotten special permission for them to do the launch party on the 17th of April. So
Oh my
2 days
goodness, that's amazing.
early. I will
Real
sign
quick, Marie,
books.
I want you to hold that up and I want to see if I can actually from our video
Okay.
grab your QR code.
Oh, how
Oh.
clever. That would be wonderful. Let's find out.
Also, Marie, you can just put it on your social media, make a
Yes.
post of it
Yes.
that everybody
That's
can
Okay,
get.
I
it work?
did. I was able to grab it. So
Okay.
that
So
is a
you can
great
get that
thing.
QR code. I
Right
will
there.
sign books on the 17th of April. And if you're in town, we can do it then. But Invitation Bookshop will be so happy to ship them to you. And also for that special event, there'll be a little gifty from me of some kind that will be just especially for that event. It's not a car, you guys, or anything. It's not a cruise,
It's
but
not
it's
a
a little,
puppy
Is it a cigarette?
it's not a cigarette, although,
or a puppy.
I thought about like, wouldn't it be fun to have candy cigarettes? But I don't think that's allowed anymore at the book launches. So I don't know. And I don't smoke. So
Something.
anyway,
so
but
for our
that's a big thing. So yes, pre-order, please.
pre-ordering is the most beautiful thing you can do for an author. We'll just lay that out there.
It's true.
But before we let you go, Marie, what is bringing you joy today?
Oh, what is bringing me joy today? Let's see. I I'm having some friends over tomorrow, and I'm excited because this is so dumb. I'm excited because there's a little grocery store in town that makes these really, really terrific take and bake pizzas, and I never
Ooh.
get them because it would be way too much for me and the chairman to eat. So I get to go get one of those pizzas. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
very pumped. So there's pizza in my future. So I'm excited about that.
Fantastic. All right, hold up the beautiful cover again. Thank you all for being with us at the 10-Minute Book Talk. And next week, we'll be back with more bookish fun. And we're going to leave you with this beautiful cover as we go. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.